I grew up on a farm west of Broken Bow, Oklahoma, where we raised cattle. Well, I knew I wanted to work with animals. My dad wanted me to go to college, so I went and majored in animal science. A couple of years at Murray State College in Tishomingo, then transferred to Oklahoma State in Stillwater. When I transferred to Stillwater, I went to work at swine barn. They told me the work-study program was full in the cattle and the beef barn, so I went to the swine barn. Working at OSU started me in the swine. I enjoyed that, and once I did graduate, I knew that Tyson was hiring, so I interviewed with Tyson, and they hired me. So I graduated in May of '87, and I think 2 weeks later I started at Tyson Foods. I was hired on as a trainee. I trained for 4 months, and then they gave me my own unit to run. I worked at Tyson for a little over 11 years. It was a rough start there because I asked for the worst barn they had, and I ended up getting it. But I come out of it, and I think it was '92, I ended up being Farrowing Producer of the Year, and then later became the complex manager on that farm. And then later, Tyson went to expanding in these contract producer areas, and I thought, man, that'd be the place for me, because I more enjoyed working by myself or with doing my own thing instead of being over a lot of people. And in '95, I bought a piece of land over here in Oklahoma and became a contract producer for Tyson. We started Meeks Family Farms in 1998, mostly because I wanted to raise a family here on the farm where my kids could come to the barn and work with me if they so choose. When I first started, I was by myself with me and the kids, and you wouldn't think they would help that much, but just even a 6 and 8 year old bending over and picking up pigs, I didn't have to do that because they'd pick them up and have them sitting there waiting on me to process baby pigs or castrating pigs. I never had to bend down and pick up pigs because they had one sitting there waiting for me. And it made it a lot easier than just being by yourself. And on wean day, when I was by myself, my wife, she got up and come and helped me wean pigs of a morning, and she had her own 8 to 5 job at the bank, and she'd still come and work with me for a few hours and then go back to the house and shower and go to work. I think they enjoyed it at times. There's times they didn't really want to come to the barn, but it taught them to work. And that's probably one thing I'm kind of proud of. My kids, they do know how to work. And I didn't mind what they do. They didn't have to come back to the farm. They can do whatever they want, but they need to try to be the best at what they're doing. I've always tried to be at the top in production. I think the main part of that was getting to work same time every day, doing the same thing, being consistent with your routines, and it helps your people even. If you'll do the same thing, same time, over and over, it makes it easier for them and you. And I think that was one of the main things that kept me at the top of production, being first to hit the 30 pigs per sow. And we did that several times before I ended up retiring here this past fall. Since I retired, my wife has retired a year or so before I did, and we plan to get out and travel just a little bit more and spend lots of time with our grandkids. We've got them pretty regular. Just trying to slow down and be able to go a little more. In the past with the hog farm, I never really could leave. It's very rarely that I left more than 2 or 3 days at a time. I guess during my time, the 25 years with the hog barn, I can only think of twice that I left for a full week during the 25 years. So we're just going to try to get out and look around a little bit, and travel a little. It was pretty rough for a while, but I'm not complaining. I enjoyed it all. It's a good life for us, and it worked out great.
My dad and I are kind of similar in the way that we're both very introverted, And usually that conflicts with the general idea of leadership, but I think he exemplifies it by just doing the work. Putting in the work, having integrity, remembering what's most important about your family and the care of that animal. And I think that's, one of the main lessons I learned, that in my life, I can, be a leader, but I don't have to be the big personality all the time. I can show it by just being true to my word and doing the work.
He was up early and worked hard. Nothing took him away from that schedule. We tried sometimes on the weekend to drag him out of the barn, but no, the work had to be done, and not much got him out of there until the work was done. Just very dedicated, some strong work ethics that just instilled by his parents, and has proven to be successful. Just work hard every day.
I will say, growing up, it was kind of a point because, we never had a Christmas morning. It was always a Christmas afternoon.
True.
Because, of course, he had to go down to the barn and finish that up in the mornings.
The kids showed livestock when they were younger, and because of the biosecurity, that he could not attend the livestock shows, which just killed him. But he couldn't be anywhere that pigs have been. And of course, these were shows, our county and local shows that had pigs. So he couldn't go. So we would video the whole show, pull into the farm. He was waiting. So then we would review, the video together. Then finally one day he just decided that was it. He wasn't doing that anymore, and got some people hired that could take care of it. And finally that kind of all smoothed out, and he said he wasn't going to miss another show, and he didn't. And we showed at OYE, and we spent a lot of family time together doing that. He was always the guy to beat when we met other people that were in the pork industry in our area. He was the guy to beat. One guy told me he had his stats on the wall because he told his guys that's who we're after. So anyway, it was fun competitive nature, but Clay was pretty strict about what he did and got it done.
It's one thing to hear Dad, cheer on himself, saying, "Hey, look, I'm number one again." Of course, as teenagers, we roll our eyes. But it was another thing coming to Pork Congress and meeting these other producers and knowing that others looked up to him as leader in the industry as well. One of my early memories of working on the farm with Dad would be when our grandparents, who live in Houston, Texas, bought us roller skates. And of course, being on the farm, the only place that we actually had concrete to be able to use them were the barn. And so definitely growing up in the memories of going through the barns and roller skates, and somehow those slats didn't bother me.
My mom told me I had to get a job after my senior year of high school, and I was like, a job? My dad saved me. He knew that he needed me on the farm, so I got to stay home, work in the hay fields. He bought me a truck, but I didn't have to go to work for it, so that was pretty awesome. I mean, if you're the best of the best, you're killing everyone, you're breaking all the records, you're always coming in on top, then we think that should be recognized.